Indigenous societies of America were able to adapt to any type of land. These societies were divided into three groups: non-sedentary indigenous that, according to Shastin, led a mobile existence as hunters and gatherers; the Chichimecas of the northern Mexican deserts, as well as the Pampas in Argentina, were non-sedentary societies. Another group of indigenous were the semi-sedentary. They were characterized by living in the forests, where they depended on agriculture and hunting. The Tupis from the Amazon basin in Brazil were semi-sedentary. They also organized into gender roles instead of social class. Finally, there were the fully sedentary, who settled at high plateaus and developed into great empires. Some sedentary societies were the Mayans in southern Mexico, the Aztecs in central Mexico, and the Incas in the Andes. There, these societies developed important inventions, for example, chinampas that were floating islands, terraced slopes to grow food at the mountains, and complex social structures. According to Shastin, the way that some indigenous lived affected the encounter between Europeans and the creation of modern Latin American diversity. Those Indians that had a sedentary lifestyle were able to mix with Europeans.
Okay, so I am here to talk about the importance of the African population in the colonization of the Americas. First, we should start talking about the two western regions that were the first areas of the Americas to be populated by the African immigrants. And those places are the central and south and the Caribbean part of the Americas. So the function of the African population was to give support or to like be the slaves, the workers, to like start using the land that the colonizers like conquisted, and that was like all their role, like to start the land and start the resources that they could get from the Americas.
The Spaniards and the Portuguese for being born in the Iberian Peninsula and for sharing history and experiences, created models of domination that they applied in their governments. Based on what Chastain said on encounters, the reign of Alonso the Wise, a noted lawgiver, represents a high point in this tense, multicultural Iberian world. In the end, however, the peninsula's 800 years of multicultural experience dissolved in an intolerant drive for religious purity. It is important to keep in mind that religious mysticism surrounded the Spaniards and Portuguese monarchs. Monarchies used this fervor to justify their absolute power.